And so as the tension reaches fever pitch, the Senior X30 final is about to get underway. Conrad Gower is the king in junior, Max Schilling is the king of cadet. Who is going to get the job done in Senior X30? I can't predict it. So here we go, 18 laps of LYL in the intensity of the heat, and we'll see how it goes. Kai Berg and Yuka Po, front row of the grid. Austin Gale and Kimi Chan, Fedas Fesrofosi and Zadia Raikal giving chase on the third row of the grid. Then it's Clifford Kanjanapas and Ayan Marwa from Ethan Cito and Toby Gale. Miguel Quinones and Jaden Pope on the sixth row. Then it's Megan Zulkarnain and Ryan Gunavardana from Wadapong Aimuchan and Thomas George. Cooper Fish and Paco Miguel Sarmiento. 18th position, 19th on the grid is Haritho with Karin Kaur in 20th position. Then Zhao Xian and Navin Natipanon from Andy Burrett and Seth Waldron, 24th on the grid. Zachary Boyce is next from Melvin Shane. Then Lakshman Ispafna and Ben Nagayan from Werasak Aimuchan and Ahmad Zaidi bin Masri. At the back of the grid, it'll be the ever resurgent Scott Wood. But this race is so tough to predict. Kai Berg has got good long-range pace in the Birala, but you cannot count out Yuka Po from second on the grid. The man has got so much experience in these conditions. Austin Gale would love to get a victory in a campaign that he said was going to be more about his brother this year, but now he's got a chance to win a final. He'll take it with both hands. And the DRMs in 4th, 5th and 6th will be here to fight for the win. Who's going to get it done? Let's find out! Great start from the pole for Kai Berg. Yuka Po is going to drop into 4th position. It's going to be 2nd for Gale and 3rd for Ferris Fesrofosi. Yuka Po slots into P4 as I'm on the inside. That's Austin Gale, I think, going for the lead on Kai Berg, and he's there. So Austin Gale leads the race, and it's a fantastic charge. Yuka Po, big slide, 2nd position for Yuka Po. The Explorer stabs on the brakes, slides in, and makes it look more like a V8 supercar than a go-kart. Now the battle for 3rd is raging in the braking zone as Chan goes on the inside of Ferris Fesrofosi, and then Ethan Cito. Cito drifts widen on the curbs, and now he's got water in his mouth. It's raining in LYL. Oh my goodness, it is raining big time. Well, we said there was a vague chance of a rain shower, and now it is absolutely pouring down at LYL. And in the final, it is raining. Kai Berg is leading the way no longer. It's Austin Gale from Yuka Po and Kai Berg as the rain falls down at LYL in the final of the Senior X30. You couldn't have asked for more drama than this. And as the drivers get the brakes down to the hairpin, they're having to tiptoe their way round on the 2nd lap. So Yuka Po finds himself in 2nd place. Up on the inside, that's Kimi Chan. He dives into 3rd, past the Australian Kai Berg, as the rain falls down at LYL, completely out of the radar of anybody. And now we're going to get a charge down the back straight. Drivers battling away. Kai Berg trying to fend off from Ferris Fesrofosi. Zadia Raikal tries to work his way further forward. But this has turned out to be an even more dramatic final than we ever thought it was going to be, as it starts to rain big time here at LYL in the final. So now it's all down to Yuka Po to chase down Austin Gale, the new race leader. But Kimi Chan has got a firecracker of a go-kart, and now he's going to charge after Yuka Po. Up to turn 1, and that is Ethan Cito having an amazing race. The CS55 chassis from 7 Racing, now in the top 6. Ethan Cito is having a terrific race. He drives with Zadia Raikal going wheel to wheel, but he manages to fend off from Fedas Fesrofosi. Diving on the inside, that's Jaden Pope. He gets through, as does Toby Gale, bouncing over the curbs. That is Nawan Natipanon. Absolutely crazy rain. And we go 3 wide for the lead. Oh, Kimi Chan nudges the inside of Austin Gale as Yuka Po drifts. And that's Kimi Chan into the lead at LYL. Oh my word. This is a crazy race already. And the rain is coming out. Kimi Chan drifts wide. He's lost the lead. And Kimi Chan falls back to third. It's a guessing game now. There's so little grip around the course. And Yuka Po will dive to the inside of Austin Gale. It's Skittles. It's not karting anymore. So Austin Gale leads Yuka Po. Kimi Chan is somehow still in third place in front of Ethan Cito. The driver's having a tiptoe. Every mistake will be costly. As the drivers now find themselves in dire straits. There's no grip at all. And somehow Yuka Po is putting more pressure on Austin Gale as the drivers tiptoe around this torrential downpour. Here comes Kimi Chan. Does it on the inside. And it's red flags, red flags, red flags. The race is being stopped. The race is being stopped. And I'm not at all surprised. The race has become a monsoon in just a matter of seconds. And even in Senior X30, you cannot expect these drivers to be completely unguided on slick tyres in what is about to become a river. My goodness me. What a crazy start to this Senior X30 final. On lap 4, the race is red flagged. And I have to say, that is the right decision. The drivers will come straight back into the pit lane and they will revert to wet tyres. Oh my goodness. A good decision by the clerk of the course and the race director to red flag the race. Too big a rain shower. If it had stayed in the same intensity as lap 2, I would have said carry on. But now the rain is torrential. There's no way you could have asked these drivers, even with the experience of Senior X30 and Master X30, to survive out there on this circuit with these conditions. So Senior X30 is red flagged on lap number 4 with a crazy 3 laps. And now we'll have to wait and see what the situation is. As you can see for yourself, there is chaos and pandemonium down in the pit lane as the drivers will now revert to wet weather setup. The wet boxes will come out, the wet tyres will go on, the wetsuits will be adorned, and suddenly this paddock has gone into meltdown in a monsoon. So the build-up for this restart then, I have been informed by the officials that the decision has been taken to reset the grid to the original starting grid positions. The race was red flagged on lap 4, but the clerk of the course and the race director have made it clear that we are going to start the race from the original starting grid positions. So it is a very interesting decision. It looks like there is some discussion about it though down in pit lane. I think there's quite a few corners that want to have a discussion about the ins and outs of the decision. So there could still be some discussion about it. The drivers are getting sat into their carts with wet tyres on. So we're now just going to wait and see what the development is. But obviously, there's going to be some parties that will be particularly in disagreement with that decision. Particularly, I guess, the race leader, Austin Gale, who was going to be starting the race from pole position if that had been the case. But obviously, it's not a decision that I have any involvement in. The powers that be have to make the decision. And so we'll wait to see what the decision is going to be. I can tell you that the race director and the clerk of the course are at the front of the grid. And I can tell you that it is definitely the 281 running at the front end of this restart alongside Yuka Po. So it is a complete reset of the original starting grid. The 1 minute board has gone up in the air. So I think we are going to go into restart mode very soon indeed with a formation lap and then into the rolling start as always. Well, the engine revs rise and we are about to go back into battle in Senior X30 and Master X30 for the restarted final after the deluge that came down on the second lap of racing. The race red flagged on lap 4 and the race is now going to get ourselves into a final restart with the original grid positions. That means it's going to be Kai Berg in pole position alongside Yuka Po. Well, the engines were on and now they are being switched off again, so I'm not entirely sure what the situation is. It looks like Toby Gale has got an issue with his kart. Well, we're still kind of in limbo here at the moment as we try and figure out what the score is, what the situation is. But there's certainly a lot of discussion down in pit lane at the moment as we prepare for this slightly delayed restart to the Senior X30 final. With Kai Burke and Yuka Po back on the front row of the grid. Austin Gale third and Kimi Chan fourth. The engine revs will rise and we're going to go back into race trim. Could be a very interesting race from this point onward. The signal is given and the drivers head out back onto the circuit once again. So as the drivers now venture out onto the circuit, in their two formation lines again, they will explore the circuit with wet tyres on. And then they will go back to position. So Kai Burke and Yuka Po, front row of the grid. Austin Gale and Kimi Chan. Ferris Vesrofosi and Zadia Vraikal in the top six. Seventh on the grid for Clifford Kanjanapis and Ayan Marwa is eighth. Ethan Cito and Toby Gale will share the fifth row. Then Miguel Quinones and the fast starting Jaden Pope. 13th for Megan Sulkanine and Ryan Gunavardena from Wadapong Amachan and Thomas George. Cooper Fish and Paco Miguel Sarmiento. 19th on the grid for Haritho. Karin Kawa is 20th from Zhao Shiyan and Nawin Natapanon. Then the CRG Thailand teammates Andy Burrett and Seth Waldron. Zachary Boyce and Melvin Shane. Lakshmanis Bafna and Ben Nagayan. And then Wadasak Amachan, Ahmed Saidi bin Masri and Scott Wood to complete the field. All 31 drivers are out there on the course. They will get to go racing. And it is going to be a fantastic charge off the start, that is for sure. It's a decision that's been taken. It's a decision that not everybody agrees with. But the race is going to get underway regardless, with Kai Burke and the Explorer of Yuka Po on the front row of the starting grid. So with Kai Burke on the front row, he's got a very different pressure cooker this time in wet conditions with the rain still there or thereabouts, but the circuit is going to dry out quickly now that the rain has stopped. So this is going to be a real knife edge of a motor race. Here we go, and we're in the starters' orders. So the spray charging down the field into the first corner as Kai Burke leads the way, but he's going to drift out wide, and Austin Gale is going to find his way to the lead anyway. Absolutely amazing as Austin Gale puts himself back where he feels he rightfully belongs in seconds. Austin Gale leads the way, Kai Burke in second. Third place is Kimi Chan, and the rest of the field is tiptoeing as up the inside. Fedos Fesrofosi trying to get into third position. So the field is working their way through on the opening lap. Kimi Chan trying to get back in front of Kai Burke, but Austin Gale has done what he needed to take control of this race. Yuka Po trying to go right round the outside in the Explorer to move up into the top three, and he's found a roadblock. The field works its way through on the opening lap. And now the contenders are running under the bridge for the first time with Austin Gale in the lead. Kai Burke in second and Kimi Chan running in third as Yuka Po comes through in the fourth position but drifts wide, and Ferris Fesrofosi comes forward. Now we're going to get a battle for second as Kimi Chan dives in and nudges Austin Gale aside. Kai Burke is in the lead with Kimi Chan in second. So Austin Gale drifts sideways, recovers in third position, but it is Kai Burke who leads the way now in front of Kimi Chan, then Gale, Fosi, Cito and Yuka Po from Kanjanapas, Toby Gale, Zadia Vraikal and Ayan Marwa. So the race battle will continue. I'm told it is actually going to be an 18-lap race rather than a 15-lap race, so they will go the full distance. Down to the distance in the inside line, and Ethan Cito on the curbs to try and finish off the move. And that's a very tough run on Ferris Fesrofosi, but he's made it. Ethan Cito, great overtake. And into fourth position goes the CS55. Great racing from Ethan Cito in the 7 racing machine. So now the drivers battling away with gusto. And it really is going to be a tough race out there for the drivers trying to find some grip. At the moment, there's plenty of it in the rain, but the rain has stopped. And so the track is going to dry out fairly quickly. So all those who are, of course, on wet tyres, they had no option but to go onto wet tyres. But give this 12 more laps and it might be slicks all the way. So this could be a real race of tough battles. Yuka Po gets his move on the inside of Ethan Cito, who now cannons off the turn and is going to come back after the Explorer. So Ethan Cito trying to get up at the 4th position again as he duels with Yuka Po, the championship leader. But it's Kai Burke, Kimmy Chan and Austin Gale in the top 3 as Ethan Cito tries to work his magic ahead of the Explorer. 6th place for Fozy. Then Toby Gale, Zadiev Raikal and Clifford Kanjanapis. P10 is Jaden Pope ahead of Quinones, Natapanon, Marwa, Aimwo Chan and Gunnar Vordana. So a good race run so far from Kai Burke, but Kimmy Chan is proving his wet weather prowess yet again as he runs in P2, closing up on the Australian in the lead. So it's going to be a tight race up front. A very exciting race battle in the lead battle. Lots of badinage in the midfield. But out in first position, plenty of great racecraft. Up over the top of the bridge. And still Kimmy Chan trying to close up on the Australian Kai Burke, with Austin Gale in 3rd from Yuka Po, Ethan Cito and Fedos Fesrafosi. So now they come off the turn, down the main straight, and Kai Burke has got about half a second on Kimmy Chan as things currently stand, with another 3 seconds back, Austin Gale and Yuka Po. It's not going to be easy now for Yuka Po to gain an advantage here on Austin Gale. He's going to try and make his move. There's some good battles in the midfield as a lot of overtakes are happening outside the top 5. Lots of good battles. Ethan Cito goes wheel to wheel with Fedos Fesrafosi. Battling away for position. Looks like Jaden Pope is on the move on the inside of Ayan Marwa. And so Jaden Pope makes another move. Great run from the Australian. But now for Yuka Po on the inside of Austin Gale. That's for 3rd place. He gets the move. So Yuka Po makes a very nice overtaking move there into 3rd position. Kai Burke is your leader. Kimmy Chan in 2nd. Yuka Po ahead of Austin Gale, Fozy and Cito. Over the bridge. And already the track is drying out in certain patches. The sunshine being as hot as it is when it comes back. 33 degrees Celsius air temperature, don't forget. And the track is already looking like it could be bone dry in a couple of laps' time. So Austin Gale trying to close back up to Yuka Po on a circuit that has still got some wet patches, but it's drying out unbelievably quickly. So there is the 2:23, that is Toby Gale, all over the back of Ethan Cito and Zadiev Raikal. Raikal makes the bid on the inside of Cito, and Raikal gets through. So Zadiev Raikal is through to the inside line, and the junior champion from last year makes the move, and that's a spin, unfortunately, for the 260. That's Paco Miguel Sarmiento. Cito side by side, trying to get the moves there on Raikal, but Raikal holds his nerves. Cito to the inside line, and now trying to come past both of them. 3 wide, the Birrelart getting in there. That's Toby Gale, and he slices to the inside of both drivers. Oh, brilliant from Toby Gale. As meanwhile, there's a spin in the hairpin. I think that might have been Ryan Gunavardena. So a spin from the Sri Lankan. That drops him down the field as Toby Gale tiptoes his way up past several drivers in this lap. So Kai Burke versus Kimmy Chan, then Yuka Po, then Austin Gale, and then it is the hard-charging Feros Fesrafosi as Toby Gale has worked himself into P6. So there is the charge now from the 203 of Feros Fesrafosi, going wheel to wheel with Austin Gale. And further back out of the final turn, we've got great racing onto the home straight. In amongst the back markers, Andy Barrett, Thomas George, Seth Waldron and Melvin Shane having a great battle further back. As Scott Wood is looking for a Master X30 podium behind Harith O and Wedasak Aimwo Chan. So still some good battles all around. But Kai Burke is your leader from Kimmy Chan, Yuka Po, Austin Gale and Fedos Fesrafosi. But Fozy is all over the back of Austin Gale. to try and move up at a vault position. Here he goes, in the hairpin, side by side, and they're still sliding around as somehow Austin Gale remains in third position. A brilliant battle between the two of them, and it looks like we've got a breakdown happening. The 290 is going to a stop, I think. Well, we've got a car pulling off to a stationary position. Looks like Paco Miguel Sarmiento is breaking down and pulling off the road. That is bitter disappointment for the young man from the Philippines as he gets out of his car, and he is not happy at all. So Paco Miguel Sarmiento from the Philippines, I'm afraid it's game over. Meanwhile, the battle is raging as Zaudia Breikal goes wheel to wheel again with Toby Gale. And now we've got a battle to the inside line as Breikal gets the move again. So Breikal gets in front of Gale. That's for P6. Meanwhile, up front, Kai Burke is still dueling away, but Kimi Chan is in the lead. Kimi Chan has got the moves on Kai Burke, and Kimi Chan has moved into the lead under the bridge. So there is Kimi Chan, now leading from the Australian Kai Burke. They go up the crest, and Kimi Chan, the reigning champion, has taken the lead here in LYL. He hasn't taken a single race victory all weekend long, and now the reigning champion could showcase just what he can do when his backs are against the ropes. Still a good mission now for Kai Burke. Really starting to hammer home the advantage here on Kimi Chan. Down to the hairpin, still a lot of moves being made. Yukapo holding on to third in front of Fozy and the Gale brothers. Austin ahead of Toby. And it doesn't look as though Austin Gale is going to be able to hold on for long in front of Toby Gale. So Toby Gale is going to find his feet and make his own overtaking moves here. Some big opposition coming, but the moves are going to be very tricky to hold on to for Kimi Chan in the lead as he runs just the cart length in front of Kai Burke. There is the chasing pack, that's Ethan Cito trying to close up on Austin and Toby Gale. Toby Gale holds the middle of the road to keep Ethan Cito back, and there's the move on the inside from Zaudia Breikal. Breikal goes through, Cito goes on the wet patch, and now Kanjanapas is going to get ahead of Cito as well. So Clifford Kanjanapas makes the move on this CS55 of Ethan Cito, who now bounces back in the next apex and retakes the move from Clifford Kanjanapas up the hill. Well, there's more clouds drifting over the circuit. We may get another rain shower here. But out in front, it is Kimi Chan, only 0.2 of a second clear of Kai Burke, with Yukapo looking good for a third position finish here, ahead of Fozy. The top three have pulled well clear on everybody else. Fozy is now in fourth place. Look at this, side by side. A very close race battle between Kanjanapas and Cito. Cito is still trying to get one over on Kanjanapas, but Kanjanapas holds the inside line. Cito is trying to get level with him off the turn, but he can't make the move. Into the hairpin, Cito tries again. They're going to be close on the curb, and Kanjanapas bounces over the curbs. Well, Kanjanapas might not be happy with that one. Meanwhile, further up, Toby Gale hanging on in front of Zaudia Breikal here. This is going to be a really tough mission for him. We've got yellow flags now out on the course because we've got more than one driver in dire straits. Looks as though we've got another retirement to add to Paco Miguel Sarmiento's exit. As up the inside again, great work from Kanjanapas on the inside of Ethan Cito. And we've got yellow flags now because we've got a cart or two out of position by the look of it. But we've certainly got a stationary cart up on the sidelines there. Now Cito wrestles his way side by side with Kanjanapas. They're banging wheels and Cito gets the move. So Ethan Cito through turn one on Clifford Kanjanapas. Kanjanapas gets on the curbs and somehow saves the cart from the mother of all power slides. So Cito makes the move stick on Kanjanapas. Zaudia Breikal is knocking on the door of Austin Gale further up. 9 laps to go from the 9 laps we started with, and Kimi Chan is on 0.2 of a second clear of Kai Burke. Down to the inside line, Raikal gets the move there on Austin Gale. So Zadia Raikal now into 5th position behind Feros Fesrofosi. So with 9 laps completed, there's 9 laps to go, and this is going to be a really tough race to the finish line here. So Kimi Chan leads the way from Kai Burke. Half a second between them as Kimi Chan bangs in the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 15.945. So they continue on down the straight in the battle for 4th position behind this man, Yuka Po, who is about 5 seconds back from the leaders, but he just needs to keep patient. Now, there's a rain cloud coming back over the circuit, and they really need it now because they've been on wet tyres since the start, but there's been no rain for about 7-8 laps. And that's critical for the drivers because the track is drying fast. So they can really do with another rain shower to see these wet tyres through to the conclusion. Because at the moment, those wet tyres are going to be screaming at the drivers for grip. So Chan, Burke, Yu, Fosi, Raikal, Austin and Toby Gale, then Sito, Kanjanapas, Natipanon and Jaden Pope. So Kimi Chan controls the victory at the moment in front of the very talented Kai Burke. But there's still great racing around the course. And we've still got a lot of great racing to cover in this battle. There are the brothers, Austin and Toby Gale, still battling away as Zadia Raikal has caught up to his teammate, Feros Fesrofosi, and it looks to me as though he's got ahead. So Zadia Raikal is now pushing down the straight in 4th position. He's got ahead of Fosi. So still great racing everywhere you look. But now Feros Fesrofosi has lost out to his teammate at DRM as Zadia Raikal has got into 4th position. So Kimi Chan and Kai Burke on lap 12 out of 18. 7 laps to go for Kimi Chan, but he's only 0.4 of a second ahead of Kai Burke. This could still go either driver's way, and if they start battling, then only 5 seconds down the road is Yuka Po on the Explorer. There's still some great battles in this race. Ethan Sito is starting to lose the patience of the grip as now Kanjanapas gets another big move on Ethan Sito, slices down the inside line and gets another big overtake. Meanwhile, several drivers on the move here. Cooper Fish getting a move on Ayan Marwa on that last lap. But Kimi Chan is 0.6 ahead of Kai Burke. Those are the two fighting for the win. Yuka Po is just trying to stay in touch with them. 6 seconds is now the deficit as Kimi Chan tiptoes his way around this circuit. But they are desperate for a little bit more rain out there now. The track is almost bone dry because of the hot air temperature. They need a little bit more rain to get these wet tyres to the finish. The track drains and dries very fast indeed at LYL. There'll be a couple of damp patches, but these wet tyres are not going to go the distance easily unless we get another rain shower in the final 6 laps. So Kimi Chan holding his nerve in front of Kai Burke. Zadia Raikal is now through into 4th position, but they are 17 seconds behind Kimi Chan. So the race is now for 4th position. That's where the real battle is on the course between Raikal, Fosi, Austin Gale and Toby Gale. A very tough race out there and a very big mission for the senior X30 and master X30 drivers to keep these tyres going to the checkered flag. There's still a little bit of hard work to come. There's Yuka Po, who's losing about a second per lap roughly. But Kimi Chan still using his expertise in these conditions around this circuit to good measure. And it looks as though it could be a DRM victory today after all. We've had a win for Rad Racing and Conrad Garrow. We've had a win for Auto Inc. Racing and Max Schilling. Now we could have a DRM victory for Kimi Chan after all. In what is turning out to be one of the craziest weekends in Infinity IAME Series Asia history. Now the battle is going to rage for the victory between Kimi Chan and Kai Burke. Yukapo is about 7 seconds back now. Oh, and a spin from one of the CRGs. So that was a spin under the bridge there. And I think that might have been Melvin Shane having the moment. We'll double check, but a CRG Thailand car going off the road just before the bridge. So Chan and Burke are still only half a second away from each other. But we're now going into lap 15. 4 laps to go. This is going to be a real mission if Yukapo wants to catch up to these guys. And I don't think there's any chance of that unless something happens to the 2 men up front. But Kimi Chan has managed to extend 1 second between himself and Kai Burke now. So for Kimi Chan, it's just a case of crossing the T's and dotting the I's in this race up at the front end of the field at LYL. He's going to try his best to close up on Melvin Shane in the Stratos Tony car. He'll be the next one to get a lap on. But Kimi Chan has done what he needed to do. Tiptoe your way through. Look after the tyres. Look after the car. Keep the rhythm. Keep the flow. And that's a spin from the 203. That's Fozy. Fozy has spun. So Ferris Fozy has spun. And that puts Austin Gale and Toby Gale in front of him. And now he's slowing. Problems for Fozy. The car is not at its best. And he's dropping to the back of the field. Big disappointment for Fozy. What a shame. He ran as high as 4th position at one stage. And now it's game over. So Kimi Chan is on lap 16 out of 18. But the new fastest lap comes from Kai Burke. He's gone 0.4 of a second quicker than Kimi Chan. On the last lap, he's taken 0.4 out of his lead. If he could do that again, we're in for a last lap showdown. Kimi Chan has just got to stay confident out there, but Kai Burke has nothing to lose. Kai Burke is really finding the rhythm in this car, and he looks like he could take the fight to Kimi Chan after all. So can Kai Burke find another quick lap to close up on Kimi Chan? I don't think this is over yet, folks. Kai Burke is pushing. Kimi Chan is no longer a second clear. So Kai Burke has got to keep pushing, but Kimi Chan needs to respond to the push from the Biralant Asia driver. Out of the final turn. 2 laps to go for Kimi Chan. And the gap between them is now steady at 0.8 of a second. Chan responds to Burke. But can he sustain this for 2 more laps? Kai Burke is throwing caution to the winds and going gung-ho. Yukapo is now 9 seconds back. That's how quick the pace is between Kimi Chan and Kai Burke, as Kimi Chan now sets the fastest lap. A 1 minute 13.0 compared to Kai Burke on a 1:13.2. Kai Burke finds a little bit of wet stuff on the curb on the outside, but that could cool the tyres down just enough to push on to Kimi Chan. Every single corner counts now. You can't afford to get this wrong. You can't afford to make a mistake. You can't afford to drip onto the curbs, as Kai Burke is really eating the road to Kimi Chan. Going off on the curbs and putting water on the tyres has cooled his tyres down enough that he can now charge after Chan. That could be the key factor for Kai Burke. There's 1 lap to go, as Kai Burke is going to give it everything he's got on Kimi Chan. 1 lap to go. And the gap between them is 0.4 of a second. A 1:12.6 from Kai Burke. Smashes the previous fastest lap. This isn't over yet. Kimi Chan doing the best he can. Kai Burke is really going for it. This is going to go down to the wire, and they've got a slow card in front of them. This could be a key moment, as Kimi Chan is going to be slow. Kai Burke has made up more ground. Chan knows he's there, so Kai Burke has got to push, but so has Kimi Chan. Will Kimi Chan need to go defensive? Kai Burke is all over it. Final lap, up to the final couple of corners. And this is where Kai Berg is really strong. Under the bridge, round to the loop of the left, and Kai Berg is so confident here. He's got a good line, good exit off the turn. He's going to need a banzai move. Here comes Kimi Chan, but Kai Berg is going to try and make it happen. He needs one big move in the final corner. Can he go slow in and fast out? Kai Berg will try. Here he goes. But Kimi Chan has done it. What a great race. Kai Berg, so close. An amazing race from Kimi Chan and Kai Berg. But it's Kimi Chan, the reigning champion in Senior X30, who gets the victory for DRM and Paralympics. Such a close run final to the flag as Kimi Chan will come through victorious after a very disciplined race. Not easy to finish that one, and Kimi Chan takes the win from Kai Berg, Yukapo, Zaniev Raikal. Great run from the junior champion of last year, and Austin and Toby Gale in the top 6 ahead of Clifford Kanjanapis, the brilliant Ethan Cito, Jaden Pope and Miguel Quinones. A great effort from the young man from the Philippines. And as we look to see who comes through, the winner in the Masters category, here's Wenasak Aimwachan, who gives Thailand a victory in the Master X30 category for Top 1 Motorsport. Great race between him and Haritho, who struggles to second in senior, struggled in Master X30, sorry. And the podium, third place, goes to Amit Zaidi bin Masri. But after a tough weekend, it's a victory in senior for Kimi Chan. It's a victory in master for Werapong Aimwachan. Excellent work in the 2 categories in a very tough final indeed. So Kimi Chan from Kai Berg and Yukapo. Zaniev Raikal is 4th from Austin and Toby Gale. Clifford Kanjanapis, Ethan Cito, Jaden Pope and Miguel Quinones in the top 10. 11th position, a great charge from Nawin Natapanon, who comes through in front of Megat Zulkarnain in 12th. Zhao Xian and Ryan Gunavardhana. Lakshman Isbafna ahead of Warapong Aimwachan. Wenasak Aimwachan claims 17th and the win in Master. Cooper Fish, Ayan Marwa and TJ George. 21st is Zachary Boyce ahead of Harith O. Then Karin Kaur, Seth Waldron and Andy Barrett. And then the retirements. Mohamed Ferris Vesrofosi, Melvin Shane, Ben Nagayan, Ahmed Zaidi bin Masri, and Scott Wood, with Paco Miguel Sarmiento, the race's first retirement on lap 6. But what a crazy day of racing, and we've got 4 fantastic winners from the 4 classes. In Master X30, it's Werek Aimwachan. In the Senior X30, it's Kimi Chan. In Junior, it's Conrad Garrow, and in Cadet, it's Max Schilling. What a great day of racing and magnificent finals to crown 4 very worthy victors.